Welcome back, folks. This is another deck I bought on the whim. I think I bought 3 or 4 of them. I may have bought them from like terrorarts or something.com, or I have no idea. But I'm looking for older decks, traditional decks, black and white decks, and when I find them, I'm buying them. This one's called the Dame Fortunes Will Tarot, and I just thought it was interesting. It's based on the Italia Tarot, and I like that system. I decided I had to pick this one up. And so the artist is Paul Huson. And let's get into this. Open the deck up here and just see what these cards will look like. And again, it's also by Low Scarab. I'm telling you, man, Low Scarab has some of the best decks around these days. So if you can get them with all this tariff nonsense going in play, pick them up if you can't afford it. If you can afford it, right? If you can't, you can't. But if you can, get them because it's getting really hard to get decks from overseas, especially from like Italy and places like that. So I've already missed out on a few decks. But again, this is United States. I bought this deck at Llewellyn. I think it was Llewellyn. All right, so the deck. All right, nothing fancy. A typical Llewellyn deck, little scarab deck. You know, the box is standard, nothing fancy. The wrapping on it, can I get my finger? It's like a cigarette, kind of a pack wrap on it. Yeah, right there. So you can roll your finger on it and just pull it open, which I like that. So you don't damage the card with scissors. All right. That's the card that is in the front position. Right. I'm turning these over so you don't see them. Don't want to give it away yet. That's the back of the cards. And the quality, your typical Llewellyn quality, has a coating on it, or the scarab quality has a coating on it of some type. And it's a little bit semi-matte or semi-gloss. Yeah, you can see a little bit of a sheen on the card. But it's, they're thin, but they're typical. The scarab, they're nice, right? No complaints with that. The guidebook, your typical, I keep saying typical, but that's what it is, typical book that you get in these type of card decks. The meanings are pretty standard, nothing fancy there. It can be read upright or reversed. Any spreads in here? There's no spreads in the guidebook at all for you to do if you wanted to. So I recommend if you're going to use this deck. Oh, there is this right there. It's a 2-card spread. That's interesting. Hold on. Tarot layout. How to read the cards. When you first choose a card, you're going to choose a significant. I think this is about. So you pick a card that you want to use. I'm assuming it's the Major Arcana. And that's kind of like, let's say you pick the Fool because you want to work on having like blind faith. Not blind per se, but you want to be able to take a leap of faith. And the card on this side tell you what's holding you back, what you have to get rid of to take that leap. And this tells you what you need to embrace to take the leap. I have a feeling that's exactly what this spread's about. Okay. That's pretty much it though. So anyway, I'd probably recommend even just doing a typical 3-card spread with this deck. So let's go ahead and separate these out from the majors to the minors, and we'll run through these here in a minute. As I separate out the deck, they do have a significator card if you want to use that. I don't use these normally, but you can if you want to. This represents you right within the spread. Let me drop the camera down and we'll get started on just running through these cards. We'll kick it off with the Major Arcana, and the first card is the Fool card. The Juggler, which is the Magician. I like that. It's different and it's really cool. The Female Pope. The Empress. The Emperor. It reminds me a lot of this other system. Let me get it 1 second. Hold on. It's called the Symbol of Worth Tarot. And so it reminds me of that, the Worth Tarot. It has the same feel in the majors. I don't know if it is the same thing, but it got the vibe because of the symbols being carried over. Now I wonder if, but they're doing subtractive there, so it's a little, and it just has a reminds me of quite a bit. Mixes the Pope, Lovers, the Chariot. I like that. Justice, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune. That's interesting. Fortitude, Strength, The Hangman. Death. I'll have to face it. Temperance. I really like the deck. It's really nice. The Devil. Tower. Okay. Star. The Moon. The Sun. Interesting. Judgment. And then we have the World. If you want to learn more about the major arcanas, head over to wordwithtwist.com, become a member, and I really go into detail on these cards. I break them down with every symbol means, deep meanings of the cards, numerology behind it, and so forth. But that's for paid members. It's called My Insiders. Go there, check it out. If you want to sign up, go ahead. If not, at least sign up as a normal member. Could you get information that is not public available? Or just hit the newsletter to keep up to date with what I am going on. That's wordwithtwist.com/subscribe. Now we're going to go and rip through the minors and take a peek at them. Again, this deck is just lovely. And I like the fact that the colors, I'm assuming, is color coded. Is it? No, it's not. I thought it was. I saw blue, green, because earth is green, blue is emotions. But fire is supposed to be red. That's your batons. And then swords is usually yellow. But regardless to say, it's a very interesting deck that I'm going to enjoy reading with. 1 second. Okay, now we're going to kick off with the minor cards. I love the imagery on this. It's just, they're beautiful cards. Okay. The twos. Threes. See, this is truly a Three of Swords card. There's no heart because it's not about the heart. It's about being mentally broken. And of course, that takes over the emotions and shatters your heart, but that's exactly what the Three of Swords is about. And I'm glad that this is pictured that way. See, growth right there. Working together. Three of Cups is that unity type of a thing going on, vibe going on. I like the fact that the cups are stacked in the four and he's feeling sorry for himself, even though all the cups are there aligned and the butterflies around having to have a different way of thinking, a different way of addressing problems, per se. Four of Swords, the Four of Wands. You can feel the stability in that card. Happiness, joy, fire, right? It's a good time of joy. Four of Coins. Okay. Five. Even though they don't have a lot, they still have love. That's interesting. I really enjoy this deck. I really love it. It's a beautiful deck, beautiful artwork. It reminds me of another deck. I can't remember the name of it or the system. It has the exact same type of imagery. It's not wider weight. It's a different tradition. And the name just kind of slipped me right now. Like illustrated pips. It's really cool. Hmm. Get a totally different vibe on this deck than you do on your typical wider weight. It's not wider weight. It's the Etteilla Tarot vibe going on here. 10. You know what? Hold on, give me a second. It's the same feel. as this deck right here, which I think is the Picard's. I think it's the Picard, Picard. I think that's what I'm thinking of right now. But this deck here has the exact same. That's what it's based off the Picard vibe as this deck right here. It's just beautiful. All right. Now we're going to the core cards. Yeah, that's what it is. Knight of Coins, Knight of Cups. These are passive, these are active, these two here. But see, even here, it's supposed to be like a double fire. It still doesn't feel like it's moving. It feels calm. The Knight is the only card of swords that feels like it's moving, which is interesting. I'm not familiar with this tradition, by the way. I need to study it more. But I've been looking for a deck like this for quite a while. I think this is it, what I've been looking for. Okay, then we're going to go to the king. See, Alexander, King David. Okay, King David right there, Rachel, and then you have Caesar. That's wild. So anyway, that's the deck. If you enjoyed it, let me know. I'm not going to shuffle with it. I'm not going to do a card pull, but it's the typical quality of Los Scarab, which is good quality, so it'll last you quite a while. They feel good in the hands. I like the coating on them, so they're not gonna. If you get damaged, you maybe get something on them dropped or something like that. You should be able to wipe it off. Anyway, that's the review. And if you enjoyed this, let me know. Drop it in the comments below, and make sure you do head over to my website, wordwithtwist.com, and at the very least, sign up for the newsletter. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Anyway, until next time, I want to see you in my next review. All right, bye everybody.